Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Hearts and Shells Coastal Decor event. I am Kim, Crafting with Kim, and I'm so glad to be here. I haven't been in this group. I actually made this once before, so I guess you would call me kind of a newbie to this group, but I'm grateful, and I know some of the ladies in here already, and some of them know me. So, but if you don't know me, I'd say hello, and I appreciate if you want to join my page and click on the little screen there and the little buttons at the top, and you can follow me if you like what I do. I primarily work with clay, polymer clay, but sometimes I mix it up with air dry and some other things. But and today I'm going to be doing it's a coastal theme, coastal decor. So hello there, Mr. Frank. How are you? And then, like I said, Miss Shelly is just now finishing up here. She's doing like this really awesome, like frou-frou tulle mermaid tail, which I know is going to be like rocking when she gets done. But hey, Miss Jan, I loved your little houses. I love those coastal houses. I've always admired those. I have a real affinity to wood as well as clay. As you can see, I like to mix a lot of wood and clay elements together. But yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of waiting a couple minutes here for me to roll over into the Hearts and Shells group. And by the way, this group is put on or sponsored or whatever. Hey Terry, how are you, darling? I miss you. We need to chat. By Shelly by the Sea, and she is just Shelly by the Shore, excuse me, Shelly by the Shore, and she's just now finishing up. And then Crafting with Heart by Mary. Those two ladies, got this group going, and I'm just grateful to be here and be part of all of the people that love to craft and hang out and have a good time. So let me see if I'm in there yet. I'm kind of seeing if I can see my stuff. I don't think I've actually been shared. I'm not sure who's actually going to be doing that. Shelly's still kind of working her thing up. Regardless, though, I mean, I will go ahead and start with my little guy here. So, all right, cute earrings. Well, yeah, those were from Miss Lena Davis Norris. I won those in the auction we had last week in our group, and so they're very cute. They're hand painted. I figured I'd try to sport them. Sometimes with my little ear thing, I can't wear earrings because they clank, but these are long enough to do. I usually don't wear dangles, so anyway. So yeah, so today, like you talk about like flying by the seat of your pants. Oh my God, I have changed my idea like 4 times. Hey Mary, how are you, darling? It's good to see you. I'm just kind of waiting to see myself over in the group, but I'm sure I'll show up there at some point. I appreciate that. So yeah, so like I said, I kind of went back and forth with all different things because I live in Florida. I am 30 minutes from the beach. I live close to Daytona. Hey Tanya, how are you, darling? So for me, beachy coastal stuff is kind of like second nature. And so, but I like to do something kind of unique and different, of course, with clay. And I had a whole idea set up until I got my Timu order yesterday, and I forgot that I ordered this really fun, huge, like it's a mold of a seahorse. And I'm like, oh, it's really big. It's a lot bigger than I thought. Hi, Becky Ann. How are you? So I thought, I got to do it, man. I got to integrate this guy in today. But I was going to do something with mermaids. So now I'm kind of switching gears a little bit. But I think it'll be cool. I think I'll be able to pull it off. But also, I got a huge storm like happen. I just got off work. I ran to the Dollar Tree. I come in here and it's pouring rain. And I have a tin roof that is very noisy when it rains. And I started shifting gears, trying to go in my house and get it all set up. And I'm like, ah. So I've been a little frantic trying to get going with this thing. But okay, it's time to settle down and try to get something, that looking like something for you guys. All right, let's see if I'm over there. There I am. Let me turn my stuff down a little bit. I thought I had my volume down. All right, guys, let's get going. So, like I said, what I did, hold on a second. I just pulled the seahorse out of the oven. It might even still be warm. All right, so give me a second. It is. It's actually like a hot potato. So I took a minute, like in between watching you guys, to actually get this little guy together. It looks like plaster, doesn't it? But it's actually the polymer clay. And I just took it out of that mold. It's actually literally still warm. I mean, I'm telling you, I took it out of the oven like not even 5 minutes ago. All right, so that's going to cool down because I am going to end up painting it. So what am I going to do here? Well, I'm going to take you down on my table so you can see a little bit better of the close work that I do. with the clay, and I'll be doing some clay and mix it up with some other elements and all that. So let me go ahead and switch that over, guys. And I'll tell you, I normally, for those that follow me, I usually have my giveaway tool set up. I was scrambling around. I didn't get it set up the same, but I'll do a name pick from the hashtag word, and I'll give you that later at the 5 minute, and you guys will know what that is. And then actually, I did from yesterday's live. I picked up. It was actually Honey and Bear Creates, who was actually a spotlighter in another group. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get changed down here so I can get going on something, and hopefully I can get this worked up. Okay, Quality Crafts. Hi, Kathy. How are you? It's good to see you here. All right, so what I'm going to do is, you know what, we can treat on every dang surface there is. I thought about glass, bowls, anything under the sun, but I ended up going with a simple black canvas, but I am going to try to zhuzh it up quite a bit to make it something pretty cool. So the reason I went black is just because I think I'm going to have some of the elements showing through, you know, the color of the black showing through on the bottom. And I'm kind of going for something with a little bit of metallic, a little shimmery kind of thing. Sometimes I do metallic, sometimes I do grunge, sometimes I just do straight whimsical. But yeah, so we're going to do the seahorse on here. I'm going to paint this up first, and then we'll work on the seahorse. Seahorse is going to basically go on here, paint it up. I've got a background first with the clay. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. And then I've got a little, I was just, like I said, at the Dollar Tree. Hey, Morgan, how are you? It's good to have you here. Like I said, if you're first time with me, I really appreciate you saying so and tell me where you're from. And if you're not familiar with me, go ahead and, you know, tap that screen and join my page. I love that. I love to have some new people and all that happy jazz. So what I'm going to do is I found these. Aren't these cute? These were actually at the Dollar Tree, and they were like on a frame, like in a, what do you call it? Like I had like a little thing on the back to sit up, but I took that off, and I'm going to sit it on here and make like a little Post-it note holder once I get it all finished. I thought it'd be a little bit more functional. Do something. Sometimes I like to do some functional things. All right, so let's kind of work on this background for a second here. That's Pauline, but she won't answer to Morgan. Oh, okay. Morgan Pauline. Okay, gotcha. I'm seeing it now. All right, ladies. So like I said, let me throw some paint on here. What I'm going to do, like I said, is going to do a combination of like some aquas, some off-whites, and things like that. I'm going to start with a base here. Like I said, I'm winging this, guys. So I'm going to start with a base of a little bit of, I did the same thing I did yesterday. I want to keep throwing this wax down in there into my other bin. Let me grab this. All right, I did the same thing yesterday because I did a farmhouse thing yesterday, and I ended up putting which I haven't even posted yet. I got to finish up my little tomatoes. I'll work on that later today. I do work part-time, guys, so sometimes I don't have the time to fiddle around here once the Mondays and Tuesdays come. But okay, so what I'm going to do is just like, you know, take a little sponge brush and kind of get something semblance going on the background here. Hi, Angela. How are you? It's good to have you here. Like I said, it's good to see all these new names. It's good to see all these new names. I'm in a couple other groups, but it's nice to be in a group and get some new people and get some new faces and names and stuff in here. All right, so I'm just like going to town right here. This is just, like I said, I'm going to keep some of the black on here. I think the black will be kind of nice and stark. So it doesn't look like much in the beginning, but once I start adding the other elements on here, I think you guys will kind of get the idea. So how's everybody doing? You guys doing all right? Sometimes I like to take a little bit of water on this stuff, but not too much. I dab it, the sponge in there, and then I just kind of brush it up like that because it gets these chalk paints, you know, if you want them real thick, but sometimes I want them to flow a little bit more, and I'll get them to kind of flow out. Now, a lot of times once I do a project, I don't always finish it on live, and now I go back and zhuzh it and fix it up. I think that happens to a lot of us ladies. We're not always totally finishing up, but I am going to do my best to try to complete as much as I can. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Jan. Miss Jan's one of my crafty buddy sisters for sure. All right, so like I said, I'm kind of doing a little bit of combination. Honestly, I have a general idea in my head, but this is going to be one of those things that just evolves into something because I'm usually more of a planner when it comes to this stuff, but not in this case. I'm literally trying to like wing it. Actually, I'm going to do like little circles. You guys ever done the little circles? That looks kind of cool. This is kind of like playing, and that's what I said. I work with clay mainly. Obviously, you can see I'm adding some other elements together, but I like to play in the clay. That's like one of my little new tag words there. All right, so I'm going to leave that be and let that kind of sit for a minute and dry. I could put the heat gun on it, or heat tool, Sorry about that. Don't arrest me, Facebook, for saying that. All right, so let's go put these aside. I might add some more colors on there. What I want to do right now is roll out a little bit of clay and show you guys how I'm going to work with this background here. La, 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 la. So what I've got, I'm using white clay today. If you guys are not familiar with polymer clay, this is a brand new brick I just got. Oops, there we go. Brand new brick I just got at Michael's. This is a Craft Smart. I use this as opposed to the Sculpey. It's a little cheaper. It's the same basic thing. So I use that, and sometimes I use a little bit firmer clay, a Sculpey clay. But what I want to do right now is, besides having my little guy on here, I'll probably end up rebaking this too. I baked it for about 20 minutes, but I want to get a little bit firmer, even though when it sits on the canvas, it's not going to really matter that much. But I do want to put some sort of a background on here to kind of give it a little zhuzh. So I'm going to add a little bit more clay here. You can see a lot of times I take my little, I take this kind of guy here, these little tissue blades, and I cut it down and cut it in pieces. Or if you don't have that, you can use like a regular butter knife, but it gets like a nice clean cut with this. Then I'm going to roll it out. So a lot of times I use a pasta maker too, but in this case, I don't have my pasta maker set up. I took it off the other day when we had the auction. I forgot to put it back on because I haven't used it. So I'm just going to use this. Actually, I'm going to use this guy here. This is from the Dollar Tree, guys. Not all the Dollar Trees have them in the cooking section, but if you can find one, you know, pick up a cute little simple rolling pin. Most people, I think, if you do anything in the kitchen, you might have a rolling pin. And if you're not familiar with polymer clay, this clay is kind of dirty. It's a good thing I'm painting. One thing about using white clay is you got to make sure your surfaces are super clean because it'll sure pick up any little thing. Hey, Jeannie, how are you, Miss Darling? It's good to see you here. Jackie Crafting, how much is your cart? Oh, okay. You guys are chatting amongst yourselves. All right, so I don't really want this particular shape to be like any particular shape. I want it to be a little bit like organic looking, but I am rolling it out kind of thin, just simply because, you know, it'll get more surface, and polymer clay can get pretty darn thin. You guys usually don't see me roll much. I usually have it all done. But like I said, today after grabbing off work and running to the Dollar Tree and trying to deal with my crazy storm of moving and not moving and coming back and then baking. You guys could have seen me the last 45 minutes. It'd be a comical thing. All right, so I think I'm just going to kind of like, I don't know, I want to kind of pull that out a little bit. I don't want that. It's kind of stretchy, by the way, guys. You can kind of stretch this stuff and bend it and mold it any way you want. So what I'm going to do now is I want to roll a little bit of texture on the back, on this surface here before I put it. Let's see how it's going to look with that guy. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to roll a little surface on here. These are like, you know, everybody's a Temu fan now. I got these at Temu. These are just little cute stencils. And besides actually just doing this on the back of it, which is pretty cool in itself, this is kind of like a little wishy sort of thing. I've used this a couple times already. Somebody made a comment, it might be Tanya, that this looks like the Starry Night pattern. It does actually, kind of cool, but it looks kind of waterish too. So I'm just rolling this on here to get a general textured design background on here. Anybody ever work with clay? Oh, by the way, I know somebody that does work with clay a little bit, and that is Miss Tammy from Ladybug Gnomes and Crafts, and she's coming up after me, and she does do some clay pieces. I've seen her do her clay. I'm not sure she's more air dry or polymer, but yeah, she likes to work with clay too. So she might be doing something today with clay. I'm always excited when I can inspire people to do things with clay because it has just become my obsession. I swear. I used to do every little craft under the sun like you guys, and I've taught for 30 some years, but I fell in love with polymer, and that's pretty much where I'm at. Okay, so you love clay? Yes, I do too. All right, yeah, actually, I did think I saw you use some. See that little pretty texture you get just from that little guy? Okay, but I'm going to take a little step further. This is a little tedious, but I don't think I'll do them all. I'll just do enough to kind of like make it look like something. You can take a straw if you don't have these little cutters like I did. I got these off. I got these off Amazon, I think. Yeah, everything's on my link tree on my Amazon. If anybody's interested, go to my page and see what I got. But I'm going to cut some little circle holes out of here, and it just kind of creates like this little kind of like a really funky background sort of design on your piece. Oh shoot, I forgot I wanted to do something. I get to talking And then I forget, I can't do it now. Either that or I'm going to have to, you know what? I'm going to turn this over and do the other side. That's the beauty of doing this because I really wanted to do this. I got to talking and forgot. Before I pull this off, I want to paint the stencil. I want to paint a little bit of color on the stencil itself. See, I just rolled it over and did the back part. So what do I want to do? I wanted to get my, where's it at? This one here. This is kind of like a metallic. I'm going to go with a little bit of metallics and non-metallics with this. And I wanted to add a little bit of something on the background here so it doesn't, like clash. And I'm going to take a little bit of green, I think, too. This kind of like a pretty kind of a metallic pearl green. It's called pearl green. Okay. I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to brush those on, maybe mix them together a little bit. Brush that on my stencil before I lift it up. So I'll have a little color there. So you ladies that like the stencil, this is a good way to do, get some cool textures and stuff with your clay. And you can actually use, the stencils that you use for screen prints that a lot of people do with the, hello Kim, what's it called? Miss Mary, Painted Peach and all those. They do the chalk couture. You can use those kind of screen prints on this clay too. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, there we go. See it in that now. You guys ain't gonna be able to see that, but it's gorgeous. I'm gonna show it to you in a second. So all you gotta do is just roll that out a little bit. This is really great too. Like this is a great way to do, like if a person wants to make little fun jewelry pieces. A lot of people that, work with polymer clay, they do painting and jewelry and all kinds of fun things too. And this is just another little outlet, way that you can do. There's a zillion and one things you can do with this clay. Clay is on your bucket list. All right, darling. Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I do have a little polymer clay course that you can take that's already pre-done. And I'm starting up a little private group. I don't want to make a big mention of that because some people don't like it when you talk too much about your stuff. But if you join my page, you'll find out more about that. That's going to be starting up soon. So, all right. So like I said, I just wanted to get this on. All right. That looks good. All right, put that aside. Now I'm gonna hold it up so you guys can get a better look at this color. It's beautiful. It almost looks kind of goldish. It's really pretty, isn't it? Okay. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and continue with my little cutouts. And what I'm doing, like I said, it might seem a little bit like, why am I doing these cutouts? But when you see the effect, it's gonna look cool, I think. Although against that white background, I might have to add a little extra something on there. So, if you've ever been in the ocean or like seen pictures of the ocean where they have like the, your coral, your coral reef barriers and all that sort of thing, they actually have so many cool, I love underwater stuff. I've always been a water person. How about you ladies? Is there anybody else? I know Shelly lives close to the water. Anybody else just adore, besides Jan? I know Jan does. Adore the water. When I was a kid, I honestly wanted to be an oceanographer. That's how much I love the water. I have always been a big water bug. I've been a lifeguard. I've been on a swim team. I mean, you put me near water, not a fish. So that's my thing. I love water. And I love all the beautiful underwater things that are, like it's just a whole nother world under there. It's amazing. The vivid colors and stuff that you get. Okay, how many of these little holes do I want to punch? Yes, yeah, Jen. There's no denying. What's kind of cool? Even these little punch outs that I'm doing, you could use these little punch outs for something because they actually still have the texture and stuff. You could actually integrate those onto your piece. I might just do that. I might just either roll some up to make them like pearls or whatever I'm going to do. All right, so I think I got enough of these. I didn't want to do too many. I just want to give it a little bit of a semblance of something. Now, obviously, I have not baked this piece of clay, so it's going to be floppy. But I'm all right with that. I mean, I'm just going to put it all together to show you, and then I'll probably just rebake the whole thing. But I kind of want to put it on the, and I'm stretching it a little bit. I want it to be a little bit like this, disfigured, not disfigured, but like a little bit like wonky, more organic and natural. And I don't want it to lay flat. I want it to be kind of like sitting up like that, so it's kind of working its way like a piece of coral or something. I'm not sure whatever you call that, but I think it's kind of cool. All right, so we're gonna go with that right now. Although on this background, that's not gonna look look too pretty. I need to add a little bit extra color on here. I think what I'm going to do is throw a little bit of this aqua, just a little bit of aqua on here, a little touch of aqua, because I want to bump that color up. So when I put this piece on top of it, it's not just kind of like blending in with itself too bad. Although I am going to be adding some other elements on here, and I'm going to be painting the seahorse with the aqua as well. Like I said, I'm just kind of winging this right now. I didn't really have my colors planned. I'm literally throwing things together. So we're going to see how it all comes out in the wash. It usually does, but Quality Crusted Kathy is my name. It's Kathy, and I may have a problem. Kathy, you're such a riot, man. I've watched you a few times before. You crack yourself up. That's what you do. You crack yourself up. You crack me up too. All right, I think I'm probably going to end up doing something with the black on the edges too when it's all said and done. I might put a little extra something on the side. So we're kind of playing right now, playing in the clay. All right, so I am just going to go ahead and place this on here, even though this is still wet. I don't care. We'll all, like I said, I'm going to end up painting it and drying it and whatever. All right, so that's that. And now I got to do my seahorse on top of that. Like I said, I want it, when I bake it, I'll make sure that it's actually all raised up, so it's kind of, it's got like little, it's lifted up like that. It looks better than having it flat dimensionally. It's got more dimension, I guess what I'm trying to say. All right, so now let's try to work on this little seahorse guy here. So what we're going to do with this one, I'm going to go ahead and put a straight coat of the aqua on here first. I love these big pizza rounds. They're my favorite thing to paint on. Obviously, you can see that it seems like we eat a lot of frozen pizza, but we really don't. I've just been collecting these things over the years. So everybody doing all right today? You guys enjoying this event? This is a big old seahorse. Like I said, this is a Temu mold. And it honestly, it's kind of floppy. It took me a little bit of time to actually put it in there. If anybody's ever worked with the molds yet, if not, then they're so fun to work with, and it's the easiest way to, to get a full design is working with a mold and putting even if you're doing hot glue, it's not clay, you can use air dry clay in some of them if it doesn't have a lot of small detail. But yeah, this one was kind of floppy. It's not super firm. I had to really like hold it in place and push it. This is quite a bit of clay. This is probably one of the biggest molds that I've ever used. I've made hand-built pieces. I can't hand-build all this, but it takes a little more time, and most people don't care if it's hand-built or not, as long as it looks cool, right? I mean, there's not too many people out there that really honestly care, like, oh, I spent 3 hours working on this piece and this little tedious thing. I used to do that, and I'm like, nobody, they just want it to look cool. So that's why I said, you know what, molds are the way to go for most of these things, unless I'm just really having a labor of love and wanting to make something really cool. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can get more comments. I see comments that I might not be seeing on my screen. All right, so not yet. Okay, so we're going to let that little puppy dry. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit that with the heat gun right now, because we're going to put a little element on top of that too. Alrighty, guys. So you can see here when it dries kind of a matte finish. It actually has a little bit more. I'm sorry if you guys hear a little bit of rain. It might be somewhat noisy. Hopefully, I was trying to think the rain might stay away. If it comes back, I'm sorry. It might be a little bit noisy. But I was trying to get through without, because I've got a dang tin roof, and sometimes you guys let me know if it sounds a little bit funky. I also have a lot of oak trees right above me, so they drip a lot of water off the leaves. Thank you there, appreciate that. Okay, so like I said, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a little metallic on top of that. This is a color shift, guys. You ever use these? Some people might be familiar with these. Sometimes when I do my metallics, I have the dry pigment colors, the metallic pigments, and I use those on the unbaked clay. But in this case, I wanted to go ahead and bake this so I could get it on the piece. So, I'm just going to throw a little bit of this on here to give it some highlight. And I might put a little pearl on it too, just a little bit of white pearl. Do I have some of that left over from, where's that thing now? There we go. Oh, I do have a little bit over here. A little bit of this white pearl. Kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. Okay, it just kind of makes it shiny. Like I said, sometimes I go with metallics and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I grunge. It just depends. Just depends on the look I'm trying to go for. When something about the sea, you know, I think of just the shininess of the water and the ocean and all that. So I like to put a little bit of a little shiny shine on things. Okay. All right. So I got that, but I'm not done yet, guys. Okay. I'm gonna try to do like a little dry brush right on top of the other thing too. Get that here. I love these color shifts though. You guys ever, like I said, you ever use these things? They are really cool. And they, oh my bad, it was Amazon this time, not Temu. What for? What was that? Bad Amazon for what, darling? I missed it. I'm sorry if I'm missing comments, guys. I'll go back and look. I will. I promise. I go back and I check out and see what everybody's talking about. I actually might put a little bit of distressing medium on this. It depends. I like to use my brown maybe or my white. What am I looking for now? I'm looking for this. Okay, I'm gonna try this, but I think I need to go creating with Connie and Honey. Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourself. I see what's going on here. All right. One thing about working with polymer clay too, if you're familiar with it, or if you're not, you know, when it actually is baked for the first time, of course it gets hard. But when you put a lot of heat to it, it until it's really really cured, it can start kind of deactivating again and get a little soft. So that's just a little something to know about working with this clay. Now I'm going to try something. I'm going to try just do a simple little dry brush across the top of the gills and stuff to see if I can get that effect. And let's see how I do with this because I wanted it to have a little bit of extra something. Let's see, I just want to I'm kind of laying my brush down flat and just sort of going over it like that. See what that does. I don't want to try to get it too much in the on the groove part. You know, you can do this with a distressing medium too, but I kind of wanted to do it with the metallics and see what kind of effect I can get with the metallics. If it don't look right, I'll just wash it off. I mean, I'll get a baby wipe and take it off. Okay, paint right over it either way. Hold up a second. Let me get some paint in here. So how many of you guys actually really go to the beach and enjoy the beach? And if you have a favorite thing, what do you do when you go? Do you have a favorite beach you like to go to? Do you like to vacation there? Do you live close to the beach? Let's get a little conversation going here and let me know how many people actually love the beach and have coastal decor in their home. Like I said, I could have done this with my brown, but I wanted to kind of try it with these metallics. Never actually done this before, so we're kind of seeing how this goes. All right. I'm going to kind of clean it up a little bit. I don't think I want in there all of it in there like that. Let me get myself a baby wipe over here. If you catch this stuff before it gets too dry, the baby wipes, you know, you can get in there and kind of clean it up a little bit. I wanted to give it a little bit of extra something. I don't want it to be like overdone. Sanibel Island, you love going shelling. Okay, cool. I have a lot of like stories about me in the water. I used to live in the Bahamas, and I've gone shelling before, but I've actually gone crabbing. Like an old boyfriend of mine took me out on a boat. I've been oyster hunting. Believe me, that's interesting. You got to wear shoes when you do that. Like I said, we did crab hunt, and we did oysters, and I used to jump off all kinds of crazy cliffs and stuff when I was young. You know, I was listening to some of Shelly's adventures when she was a kid. And it's like, yeah, it's really cool when you can live close to the water. Of course, I've lived in the hills and mountains too, so I love it all. I'm just an outdoor person by nature. All right, so I think I might be good with that. Like I said, I might end up playing around with it a little bit once I get off camera, but I'm going to hold that up and let you guys kind of see what that looks like. All right, so you can see I just kind of put a little touch on there. It doesn't look as great in the camera as it does in person, but it does have a little bit of a metallic sheen. Okay. Love the beach, walking first thing in the morning, coffee on the beach. Yeah, that's beautiful. You know, I actually, didn't you guys like going to the beach at nighttime? Like in the summer when it's crazy? Well, it's like, really, really warm and going out there and hanging out in the summertime. All right, so I'm just going to, I don't really, honestly, I'm probably going to fix this background painting. I'm not real happy about that, but I'm just kind of laying it on here for now for you guys to get a general idea. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to take all this off this canvas because I got to bake this together. But I do want to add, I got a little S here for the seahorse. Okay, I'm gonna put the S up there, and that's wood. I could actually done this out of clay, but I have these already, so I figured I'd go ahead and use them. And I'll probably pop a couple shells on there. And then this little guy, I think I need to paint this too. Actually, I'm gonna have to leave that clay over because I need to have room for this guy. Maybe what I'll do is just make that flat, and that way I can just make that fit on there like that. So it's going to be like a little post-it hole kind of thing. Hi, Irene. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while, darling. Just Jackie, thank you. Appreciate that. By the way, ladies, like I said, this is the Hearts and Shells collection group, and this is a Coastal Decor. If you guys have not been watching all day, then you need to go back and check everybody out, and show them everybody some love here. Up after me is Tammy with Ladybug Gnomes and Crafts. Okay, and like I said, she works with clay too. She might be doing something really cool with clay. Yeah, it's good to see you, Irene. I know you're always giving me a lot of support on my page, and I so appreciate that. I love it when I can get some people that really enjoy what I do and like to hang out with me. I'm rolling up these little pieces that I cut out, and I can actually turn these into like little white pearls. I can paint them. If I want, I'll probably end up firing them first and put those inside. You can put those actually inside your shells. Like if you can't find the things that you need at the store, you can make your own, and that's what's kind of pretty good about clay. So I'm going to add a lot more elements to this and beef this up. I've got 15 minutes, so let's see how much more I can add on in 15 minutes. I do want to paint this. I don't know what colors. How should I paint this, guys? I think I'm going to do a straight metallic. I'm just going to do this copper on here. Like I said, I did want to add some metallics into the piece. It's going to be a combination of metallics and not matte colors as well. And then I'm thinking I need to paint this guy too. I'm not sure what color to do that. I like that color, but I don't think it's really going to go with my whole theme here. I should probably paint that. You guys got any ideas what I should paint my little post-it note thing? Not sure about that. I do usually like to add a little bit of like an aging medium of some sort to stress it down a little bit on these things. Like I said, I'm just painting my S. I might actually add a little bit more. It looks pretty good this way, though. It really does, actually. I might not touch it. If I touch it, I might mess it up, so I may as well just leave it alone. But I wanted to put an S for seahorse, okay? S for seahorse. I think I'm definitely going to go back and kind of repaint that background a little bit, make it a little bit more something, maybe bring it out to the corners and stuff. But mainly what I wanted to show you guys is the clay. I wanted to show you some of the really cool things and effects you can do with this polymer clay. Okay. All right, so that's going to go up there when it dries, probably about right there. All right, get that up there. And thank you, Irene. I appreciate that. So now what I need to do is I'm going to add a few shells. Probably add a couple here and there just for interest. Once again, you can get molds for these things, but most people can find the shells at your local Dollar Tree. Of course, if you go shell hunting, like somebody saying they like to do shells, then you can buy the shells yourself. All right, I'm actually not going to attach these yet, guys, because of the fact that I need to bake this, the bottom piece. And I can technically, everything that I have here, I could actually put this canvas in the oven just the way this is. You know why? Because this is fabric and that is wood, and I bake at 275, so technically I could bake this whole thing. But I never baked the canvas before, and it might end up like distorting the actual canvas, so I don't think I really want to do that. I think I'm going to just take it off and put it on my cookie sheet and bake like I want to do. Then I'll put it back on here and attach it. But right now I'm just I got some little shells to play with. And like I said, these little guys, well, I'm gonna put in here for some um, like some little pearls. Now another thing that you can do too that's really cool, that kind of creates like a barnacle effect, is you can take like a roll piece like this. I actually did this when I was making tomatoes yesterday. If anybody saw my other one on the other group, I did a farmhouse saying I made tomatoes, and I was talking about this. So you can just roll it in your fingers, and you can take if you don't have a stylus like I do, you can use a toothpick. You don't have to, or even a what you call it, a pencil, thing of a pencil, the end of a pencil. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to press like little holes in here, and see that little guy like that, and you can just kind of place those around all over. It looks really cool for an aquatic effect. It looks like a little barnacle. You can get like a series of those going. Okay. You guys give me ideas of what color should I paint? Should I do this white, or should I do it another color? Or I don't know. Should I do it metallic? I'm not really sure. That's going to go right there. It's going to be like my little clipboard. And that way you can actually put some Post-it notes on it. See you at the beach. Okay, you put little Post-it notes on it like that. But like I said, I don't really know what color I should paint that. You guys need to give me some ideas on that one. Let's figure that out. Yeah, like I said, I have a lot of beach stories. I've always been a beach person. I got stung by, anybody ever been stung by anything in the water? I got stung by a sea urchin. Almost, well, I encountered a stingray once when I was snorkeling. That was interesting. Yep, definitely interesting. All right, so you can see I'm just kind of creating all these little barnacle pieces that'll go. These are just the extra touches that you want to add to it to kind of give it interest. And you know, if you've ever seen barnacles and coral, I can actually add a little piece of coral on here too. Maybe I'll show you how to do that real quick. You can add a little cool piece of coral. See, I just kind of put little holes in there like that, okay? And then you just add them to it. You can kind of see the effect I'm going with. Okay, let's say I do not like the background painted like that. I'm going to redo that. But you see the idea I'm going to be going with. And then I'm going to add some extra pearls in here, like the little guys and shells. And I'm going to paint these shells up too a little bit. I think I'm going to maybe metallic them. Maybe I'll turn that one over like that. Probably put a little bit of metallic on that. Thank you so much there, Miss Sir Elevate Beautiful. Still, I don't know what color. What color should I paint this to go along with there? Oh, you know what? Maybe, what do you guys think about this green? The green metallic? Should I do it in like a soft green tone? Or I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on the color, guys. And this is kind of pretty too here. But I didn't want it to be this natural wood color. I want it to be something else. And thinking that I've got my S up here, I could tie that in, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to try, but it's got the dang bow on it. See if I can take that bow off. Oh, it just popped right off. It's just super glue. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and paint it green. We're going to start with this color and see what happens. Matter of fact, I need to do it on the first. It's going to be very metallic. Let me start with my ivory. We're going to do that. Oh, you're saying coral color. You know what? That might not be a bad idea. That might not be a bad idea. Let's see. I got some up here. I actually have like a little, you guys like this? You guys like this coral color? And maybe put this on top of it. This is a pearl brush gold. Let's see how that goes. If we don't like it, we can always paint over it. That's just fun. So we'll try that. Thanks, Jan, for that little tidbit. We'll see how it works. Let's see how it works. I want to kind of keep it in similar colors, but you know, I'm not opposed to trying something. I'm not opposed to trying something. This is kind of a real smooth surface here. So actually, it's kind of my brush is wet, so it's kind of, oh, I kind of like that effect. It's giving it sort of that rustic effect. Probably, you know what? Chalk paint's probably going to be best on this. I think I'm going to have to do that. I just kind of rub it off like that and throw it because I got to put a little bit of chalk paint because this thing is so slick. It's not too bad. That's really kind of toned it. And then I'll put the coral on top. Mine did too. She's a turbo reaction. She has a terrible reaction. Okay, what was that again? Oh, granddaughter got stung by a jellyfish. Oh gosh, yes, I know. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, like I said, I got stung by the what you call it? Jellyfishes are worse though, but I did get stuck on the top of my foot with a sea urchin. When I was a kid, I was climbing up on some rocks by the water, and there was one stuck up there, and I'm like, and you know what? Little TMI, but people say pee on it. I did, and it worked. It did take the sting out. I'm just letting you know, it does. The urine therapy does work, guys. All right. So anyway, yeah, I'm just slapping some coat on there, slapping some coat. Now we're gonna put a little. I kind of like it real subtle. I don't know if I really want it real dark. I might just do this and put that other like metallic coal on top. Like I said, I'm just playing. Sometimes, you know, when you don't have a plan, you just kind of wing it a little bit and go with it. Are you guys enjoying this event today? Everybody getting all excited and make you want to go to the beach? For those that aren't too close to the beach and like to vacay to the beach. Believe it or not, it's kind of like what Tammy said. I've lived in Florida for 23 years, and then I've lived on the West Coast and Cali and various places in the Bahamas. So I've been around a lot of beach and water a good portion of my life. And even though I love it, I don't go as often as I used to. I still love it, but it's just something that I don't do. Hold on. That's nice. When you got stung by the jellyfish, I mean, obviously you guys probably took it to the doctor, right? I'm assuming you did. And I'm curious what they do for that, you know. Okay, let's try this color on top and see what happens when I put a little bit of this metallic tone on top of this. Oh, I think I'm gonna like this. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of cool. I want it to be sort of rustic, but not overly done, but metallic, you know. It's a rustic metallic piece. Uh-oh, stop. All right, there is my 5-minute timer. So even though I do not have my giveaway tool set up, I'm still going to go ahead and do my hashtag word, which basically means I usually run a little guy when it works, and it gives you like I run it. Excuse me, getting out the camera, and it picks a winner for me, and I put you on a list for $5 Amazon gift certificate at the end of the month, which is coming up next week. But since I'm not doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a hashtag. We're putting hashtag seahorse, and then I'm just going to randomly think. I'm not even going to look right now. I'm going to just think about, you know, after I get off camera on my end, I'll pick I picked the third person yesterday, fifth person. I'll pick the sixth person that puts in hashtag seahorse. Since I didn't set up my tool, I still want to be able to honor that, because I did say that whenever I do a live event, I wanted to make sure and get you guys on that list and you know, give that to you. Okay, and then whoever it is, I will contact you privately, and you will need to send me your email, and I'll post it on my page too. All right, so how's that looking? That looks better. I think that looks better. Looks more oceany. Yeah, hashtag seahorse, and it's seahorse. Hashtag seahorse. And tomorrow I'm in another event actually with the Sacred Treasure House Week. And I'll hopefully have that word set up, because I think I'll have a little bit more time to get my stuff together. All right, guys. So this is pretty much what it is. I'm going to add a lot more elements onto this. You will see, and then I'll add I like the little bow. I think I'll put the bow back on there, and I'm going to attach it all. And you guys will see exactly what it's going to look like. But I'm going to put a little bit more barnacles. I'll paint my little shells in here, and I'll have my little clipboard set up, and I'll glue it all down. And of course, I'll take a picture at the end and send that. So I'll put it on my page so you guys can see. All right. So thank you, Morgan. I really appreciate that. Like I said, it's a lot prettier. You guys can see some of the details. It's going to be a lot prettier once I get it finished, of course, in person too, and I get those extra little elements on here and do a little. I have one. Couple minutes. I think I'll do one little guy though. I'll show you how to do a little bit of like seaweed. Okay. You can take a little bit of clay like this, and you can take it already colored if you want, but you can twist it and gnarl it around like that. See, I'm just twisting it up. and kind of stretch it and pull it, and you get kind of a cool seaweed effect. And actually, I like doing this. I like adding it around here and just kind of twisting it and turning it. And then you can kind of gnarl it up a little bit like that and add it. You can add a little bit of seaweed elements to it. So these are kind of fun little simple things that you can do to add to your clay piece. Okay. All right, guys, let me take my camera up. I got 2 minutes. Just want to say goodbye. And okay, hey, how's it going, guys? All right, so yeah, once again, I really appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with me. And if you have any questions about clay, anything to do with polymer clay, like let me know. I do have a little course that kind of gets the beginners going for hand building and all that. And I love to do it. It's my passion, and I love to just be able to share this clay knowledge to everybody, because it kind of takes you out of the box that you're used to being in. And a lot of people, you know, they do kind of like particular thing, you know, drilling, whatever it may be, if you're into like wood pieces. But clay is great because you can integrate it into all your other work. You know, you don't have to become just a clay person like me. Like I said, I mix clay on glass and wood and all sorts of things, and you can make little ditties and you know, make molds or hand build or whatever it may be. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jackie. And like I said, coming up, and I'm sure she's already starting on here. I got like a minute, is Tammy. Tammy's up there with Ladybug Gnomes and Crafts. So you guys are going to go check her out and keep refreshing your page to see everybody else that's coming on tonight. We got some great events. Thank you, Shelly and Mary, for having me. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're in my group, you'll be able to see what's going on if you're on my page. All right. Bye-bye. Love you.